My name is Leslie Howe. I was a high school math teacher for nearly 30, I guess around 35 years. And I learned to program in the 60s, and I changed to different languages. And towards the last part of my teaching career, I started programming in earnest to help kids learn math. Along the way, every once in a while, I'd get an idea for a program that would help with Christian Ed, and I wanted to make those available. There's one particular program which deals with helping people memorize things. Now, memorizing is a thing that's difficult for me. There's one program for memorizing the Shorter Catechism, and I hope you'll look at that. But there's also a program that was written because of the request of a member of the PCA, Jimmy Lyons. He was an evangelist at large, I think that was his title, and he came through Knoxville one time and told me that he wanted something like the old-fashioned things that we used to use in Bible school, where we'd put words in trays and remove them and have the kids memorize a verse. We did that for our Bible school a lot, and so he said he wished he had an electronic version of that, and that he had actually asked several programmers to help him make a program that helped memorize Bible verses, and he said that nobody could ever do it, but I think they misunderstood what he was asking, because I think they thought he wanted them to put the whole Bible in there. But what he really wanted to do was have access to have the ability to allow people to memorize. So I have this program that I've written, and I hope you'll pay attention to it. It's not very pretty to look at first, but it is very useful, and I have used it in Bible school to help kids learn. And now that churches have projectors for their music program to project on the wall, really set up to teach a verse of the Bible every week. If we could arm the people of God with a Bible verse a week, we'd be doing really great. We have the example of Christ, who rebuked the devil every time by quoting from the book of Deuteronomy. And so this is the thing to give us courage in times of trouble. So I hope that maybe this program will be useful to the church at large. I hope you pay attention as I show you how it works. Thanks. Well, here we are looking at the screenshot of this Memorize program. And I'm going to try to explain to you how it works. See how this bouncing arrow is pointing up here, because this is the important place. It says type or copy text here. Memory boxes can hold only about 3 lines of text. Edit accordingly. But actually, you can push that a little bit. I was just experimenting. I went on the internet and went to one of the sites of hymn tunes, and since we're coming up on Reformation Day, I copied the words down to "A Mighty Fortress Is Our God." Now you can go get any place and copy to Notepad the words of something from the Bible, or some hymn songs, some words from some hymns or songs. The program doesn't handle semicolons very well. It does skip over commas, but I was in a hurry when I wrote it, so I didn't have it pay attention to every conceivable punctuation. I should have, I suppose, because you'll see what happens. I'm going to minimize this now and show you what can happen. You can actually come up here, and if you had something that you wanted to have kids learn or grown-ups learn, you could type in whatever you wanted to have them learn. Whatever you want. And that's not very much, but if I say separate, see, the whatever you want gets full capitals, and then separates itself into separate boxes. And then you can remove 1 word, remove 2 words, remove 3 words, restore the whole thing back. Or you could edit and change to say we said to say. You can put whatever you want in here, and you can separate. And you can go to larger type, which is going to put you at the same sort of thing, but it's going to just make bigger words. And if you had a very long passage, you wanted smaller words, you could. I have to keep moving this to get it in your window of vision. separate it and get smaller words. But I'm going to go back to this main page. You can also come down to the child's catechism. Say you were having the kids memorize the child's catechism, and say you wanted to work on question number 10. You could enter the answer without the question, God is everywhere. Apparently, where is God? God is everywhere. Or you could unclick that and say enter, where is God? And it would give both the question and the answer. God is everywhere. And we could separate that. Where is God? God is everywhere. You could call up a child's catechism question just like that. So I'm going to edit that and come back. Or you could do the Westminster Shorter Catechism, which I'm sure is a little bit longer. Let's do question 10 from that. Oh, not question 1,000. Let's see. I think I got too much there. Let's try question 10 there and enter that. And we're only getting the answer this time because I have the check here. So we can separate that. God created man, male and female, after his own image in knowledge, righteousness, and holiness, with dominion over the creatures. If you wanted people to memorize that, you could have them recite that, remove one word, one word, one word, one word, one word, one word, till they were saying that whole thing. And then you can restore it at any time. I'm going to go back to this verse. You could also pull down selected verses, just some of my favorite verses, with or without reference. So with a reference, you could come down here and say, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. That's not very long verse, so you might want to go for larger type and see this. And you could, if you had this projected, see, you could say James 5:16 like that, and remove one, remove one, remove one. Have people recite it till they were reciting the whole thing with everything blank, and then restore it. I have gone to a hymn site. I'm going back to edit. Go back here. So I have some built-in things that you could call right up, or you could put whatever you want in here. I have gone to a website since it is November, and we're coming up on, no, it's October. We're coming up on November, but we're coming up to Reformation Day. I went and found the words for A Mighty Fortress is Our God. And though I've warned you not to put too much in here, I thought I could copy this whole thing and we could see what it would do with such a horrendous number of things. And what I found out is that the punctuation will betray us a little bit. So I'm going to copy that, and so that you can see how you can work around my lack of foresight. So you could paste that in, and it doesn't look like it's in there, but it is. His kingdom is forever. And this is, I could separate that, and you can see there's not enough room here. Mighty Fortress is Our God. But see what's happened here where I have the semicolon. It's not separating that into two words. So I could go back to my notepad and find the places where those semicolons are and put a comma in, and then it would deal with it, and just, I wouldn't type the whole thing in because I would only have to make modifications. But I would advise you that if you're cutting and pasting, that you check it out in advance and make sure that it's doing exactly what you wanted. But you can fix it in the notepad. But look, see, this is too much, so I'm going to go to smaller type and separate it, and I think I can get the whole thing in here. You can't see it, but I can get the whole thing in here together if I enlarge the screen. So, but not quite. You might want to do a verse or two at a time. Let's see, I'm going to go back here, and we'll just delete this all out. And let's see. I might, if I have too much trouble doing this, I could close the program and start over again. Might be easier than trying to see if everything has been removed. I think it has. I'm going to come back here to the notepad version and say, I know that I'm going to have trouble with the semicolons, so I'm just going to change them into commas and see what happens. So we could come right here and copy that. Copy that. Paste it up in my window here. Control V. And separate it. Mighty fortress is our God. With just the one verse, we might, and then see if we wanted to go on to the next verse, you could have different notebooks able to copy them up, or you could do 2 verses at once. We could go back and get larger type if we're just doing the one. Well, that's still a little bit too much. Maybe we just would want to separate it there and have that sort of medium size. So you could sing, "A mighty fortress is our God," and then say, remove a word, remove a word, remove a word, until people had it memorized. Or the same with any Bible verse that you could copy from one of the Bible programs that's online. Oops. Look down here. Woe. Seeks to work us woe. See, his craft and power are great. So that was at the end of one line, and it didn't recognize a space. The program is designed to look for spaces and then separate them into a matrix of words, if you really want to know what's going on. But there's no intelligence in there. It's just following my directions. So I hope that this will be a help to many people to memorize things that are edifying to the people of God. Thanks. Bye.